Excuse the mess. I was going to do a top 5 pen case video, but I really only have like 6 or 7 pen cases. There are a few others kicking around. I just don't know where they are. My daughter has a Nock or a Nook, anyway, but it's somewhere. And there's some inexpensive pencil cases that we picked up for the kids over the years from Staples, and some of them are still used. But these are an example of our higher end pen cases that we use. And so it's going to be like a top 3 video. But yeah, so let's take a look at what I have. The thing is, I don't really need a lot of pen cases. But I have several, and I like them all, and I'm going to discuss why. And at the end of it, I will pick out my favorite of the group, and I'm not going to. It's in no particular order. So let's get this little thing out of the way. I don't actually know what brand this is. I forget what it is, but it's a little pen loop, really. It just goes over a notebook. It has an elastic strap. You can just stick a pen in here, and there's a zipper also, so you can toss another pen conceivably in there. I've used this a few times. I have used this quite a bit, actually, and it's if you got a journal or something like that, it's good to have, or a sketchbook. It's I've put pencils in it, and and it's come in handy. So these little pen loops are quite nice. But is it a pen case? Anyway, let's talk about pen cases. This here is, let's look at this one. This here is an interesting one. I bought this actually a few years back, and it's a felted bag, and it's a really interesting product. It's from Profolio. And it's made in China, and it feels like it's made of felt. Very soft, it's very supple. And what's in it at the moment are a lot of markers. My son uses this. There's my... Aha! I was looking for that. That's my Graph Gear 1000. It went walking off. My favorite mechanical pencil. I'm just going to steal that back. So yeah, you look inside it, and it has 3 pockets, a center one here, and you can put a few things in there. But he likes to keep his markers in there, and I used this for quite a while. I carried it around, but then I got another pen case that I liked a little better, so I handed it on. And it's great for storing markers, art pencils, and things like that. I've used it for fountain pens and notebooks, little notebooks before. Works perfectly well. It folds when it doesn't have a lot of things in it. It actually can be quite narrow, but it holds a lot. So as you see, it expands and it sort of bulges out. So it's great, like for the use that he's using it, which is markers. It comes in very handy. Now this here is my, it's designed for arrangement. It's my Lahit pen case, and I believe it's called the book pen case. And it's made of what feels like a vinyl, kind of a vinyl material. It's quite, inside when you stick your finger in there, you can feel a smoother surface. A little bit of texture here, and I use this one quite a bit. Haven't been using it as much lately. It holds quite a bit, actually. I was using this with fountain pens, and I always put a little notebook between these storage areas, just because I didn't want them banging against each other. I like the fact that there's room back here for business cards or a debit card or something like that, and then there's this pocket back here, which is great for, say, you can stick your phone in there. That holds it securely. You can use this for technology, things like that. And this is actually a nice little pen case for art kits. So I no longer use it for fountain pens, and it's sort of fallen out of rotation as other pen cases that have come my way took preference, really. But it's still quite nice. It's very handy. It's sort of a pen case that needs to go into a bag. It's you can carry it, but it's bulky, doesn't have a strap or anything like that. So it's great if you're have a carrying bag or a backpack. You could just toss that in there, or an art kit or something like that. Just toss it in a bag. There's pockets on the front, of course, for other cards and things like that. Nothing on the back, but it's actually quite waterproof. It's got a good zipper on it. It looks nice. Feel wise, it doesn't, it feels all right, but it doesn't have sort of a really great tactile feeling in some ways. It feels a little stiff, and I wonder sometime over time, does it crack? But it's actually quite well made, and it does the job. But it's not one I just carry around in my hand. Now, this here is my partner's. She uses this for her fountain pens, and it's actually been in use for a very long time. It's a really nice size. It's quite thin. Of course, it goes. She stores her fountain pens in it at home, or if she needs to take them with her, she tosses it in her backpack, and it's very secure and useful. It has a zipper, and then it just sort of folds down like at the top. It doesn't open all the way, and this is as you can see here, a Nock, N-O-C-K, not Nock Co. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This was available a few years back in Charlottetown here, but I haven't seen them lately. I think they've been discontinued in town here. But it has, on this side, 3 individual slots where you can stick a pencil or, fountain pens in here. In this case, little technical pencils. And on this side, you can also put fountain pens. And in the middle, there's room, say, for your whatever you want, really. You can put a notebook in there, or you could just leave it empty. Very nice. It's kind of a canvas with a vinyl insert on the center there. And, it's been used a lot. It's actually a very nice shape. Once again, it's not something you're going to, necessarily carry around in your hand, but very useful, very, very, very practical, and very nicely made. Then we have this. This is a recent item I was sent by Lockpick, and I've been using this quite a bit, and I really like it. It's there's a lot of things going on with this case. It has a carrying handle on the end here, so you can just sort of, if you want, just hold it like in your hand, which is quite nice. There's also these loops here, so if you wish, you could find a strap and put the strap on, and then you're able to just toss it over your shoulder as a shoulder case or a shoulder bag and things like that. It's good for, say, you could carry technology in this, charging cables, extra power packs or things like that, or a camera. It's good for your phone. In this case, I have, what do I have in here at the moment? Let's see. You open up this side, and I have a bunch of notebooks and also some paper that I cut to size to fit in here. So there's a journal, a sketching pad. Yeah, so I've designed it almost for journaling or notes and art. So that's quite nice. And then you flip it over, and there's another zipper, a bigger one, which is really nice. So there's 2. You can open it on the top, and you can open it on the bottom. So when you open it on the top, you open it up, and you see areas in here where you can put pencils. And I don't have any other pens in here at the moment. I tend to, when I come home, take the pens out of the cases. And when I'm leaving, I'll load it up. But I have kept a mechanical pencil and some leads in there, and then I can put a couple different items in here. I'm leaning towards setting this up as an art bag. I like that about it. The other thing I noticed, there's actually so much room in this thing that you can actually toss another pen case inside. So the Quattro, the other Lockpick that I have, fits in really nicely. So yeah, you can just toss that over your shoulder. I really like this design. It's a waxed canvas, so it's fairly waterproof. I wouldn't say submerge it in a stream. I have submerged cameras in streams before, and they weren't waterproof. But I'm not going to stick my pens in a stream. So yeah, the inside is this sort of yellow ochre fabric. There's sort of a honeycomb pattern on it. Just a subtle little feature. Nice attention to detail. I like attention to detail. Good double stitching all around, things like that. So yeah, that's a really nice case. And I've heard that Lockpick is thinking about making a strap specifically for it. And when they do, I'll get it and I'll put that on there. The other thing I have is this. It's by Endless. Endless is an Indian company that makes stationery products. I've tried their notebooks, and when the bookmark in Charlottetown here brought in some of their leather pen cases, I decided to pick one up, and I really like it. Now, the thing about this is, what I like about it is it has I'm going to get some pens, and I'm going to show you what it does. It pulls the pens out of this case. And this is a feature that I don't know if it's unique to the Endless brand, but I think it's quite nice. There's sort of an elastic strap that's adjustable, so you can loosen it up, right, and put different pens in. It has room for 5 pens, which is quite nice. I'm just going to put 3 in here. There's also an area right here for a cartridge, and then you just pull the strap and you tighten it up so everything is nice and secure. It comes with this little Endless notebook, storyboard book, a lined notebook, and it fits in here. There's a slot back here. Now, you don't necessarily have to, put the back cover into that. You can use this for, once again, a passport. You can put, say, money in there. There's all kinds of things you can stick in there, and you can just carry your notebook loose. It has a nice zipper. It's kind of formal, but kind of not. I don't know if that makes any sense. It feels really nice. This is I forget the name of this. It just said brown on the box, I believe. But it feels really nice, and it's a nice size. Once again, I have carried that in my hand, but if you have like a bag or something like that, a backpack, it's a great thing to toss in there and take to a meeting. It's not out of place in a meeting at all, but also you can just use it for a very informal journaling setup like that. So it's very nice. I like this quite a bit. And then, of course, there's the Quattro. I've talked about the Quattro a few times, and I'll show you what I like about it. So, Quattro, once again, it's a waxed canvas, double stitched. This is the classic brown. The logo is just, quite simple, kind of a yellow ochre stitching. Over time, this will get some nice patina on it. I have some business cards stuck in the cover, in the front here. I have a spare pencil leads in this little pocket right here. There's another slot at the back here that has Velcro. So you'd probably maybe stick some money or something in there, or debit card or something like that, and then it just seals up. And on the inside, there's room for 4 pens. It's once again, it's that honeycomb fabric, which is quite nice. And it's in the back here, this part right here is almost, it feels like a chamois, like those really soft terry cloth chamois that you use for washing your car or something like that. And it's very smooth, very soft, and it just, I don't know, I feel very comfortable putting a pen in there, and I'm not worried about it getting scratched. So I'm going to put a Diplomat Arrow. This is a vintage sailor that I've had. It's from the 60s or 70s, and Lami's Studio. Those are all good sized pens. And the neat thing is these slots are all slightly offset, so that when you close it, the pens don't actually, they sort of slip in between each other, and they don't bang against each other's face, so you're not worried about scratching up your pens. That also allows this, and this is why this is my favorite pen case. This also allows this to become quite thin, and I'm able to stick this in a pants pocket, just in back pocket. I've even put it in the front pocket of pants. It goes into if you any kind of jacket. It's very compact, and it's quite thin. And it's very comfortable just to stick in a pair of loose pants, like a pocket of a pair of loose pants. So that is quite nice. The other thing is on the zipper, there's just a little cord with a loop, and I can stick my finger through it and just carry it. And that's just a simple, elegant feature, this little loop. I love when I see things like that. It just gives you an extra option just to carry it, looped in your finger, and you just walk along and you don't have to worry too much about it. I like when somebody, all this attention to detail. I like that a lot. Now, if I would have to say, if I was to select my top, I was going to say top 5, but here are 5. I'm not even really going to include that in it. But yeah, we have there's a couple more cases around the house I could have found. But these are the 5 ones that we use all the time. And this Lehit Lab case, it's very similar in size to this is the Lockpick Venture pouch. That's the name of this. And this Lehit, very simple, very similar in size, but it's not as versatile. It doesn't have a bottom zipper, even though it's quite not a whole lot difference, just a few, centimeters really. Pretty close to exactly the same width, and also very close to the same depth. But without the zipper, it doesn't have the versatility of the Venture pouch, right? By Lockpick here. So yeah, this Nock. Very nice. My wife uses it all the time. But yeah, I like it, but it's not really my taste in some ways. So I'm left with these 3, the Venture pouch, the endless adjustable pen case, and the Lockpick Quattro. But if I had to pick my favorite of all these of these 5, I'm saying all of these pen cases, of these 5 pen cases, it is the Quattro. So far, I've found this to be the most useful in many ways. This comes, what is it? So, number 1, this has an elegant design that I really like. It's very pretty. So I'm going to put that at number 2. And I'm going to put this at number 2. A tie. We'll call it a tie. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really liking the Lockpick. I'm really liking the Endless. Don't use this one so much. This is my wife's, and you know, it's used all the time. But yeah, I'm really drawn to these. So those, yeah, that's it. It's just just a boring little video talking about pen cases. But pen cases are interesting. They're really personal items. And if you're into fountain pens and stationery, and if you're an artist and things like that, you need cases to carry your stuff. And there's all kinds of different ones out there, and all of them have different features, and you just have to look. You have to try them out. Yeah, sometimes you just have to, pass on the ones you don't use as much, and take good care. Well, I was saying take good care of the ones you do use, but give them some love. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. So yes, Lockpick Quattro is of all these pen cases is my favorite. These two are tied: the Lockpick Venture pouch and the Endless 5-pen case right here. They're tied, I'd say, because they're so different in many ways. This is very formal, very attractive. This is rugged and durable, has all kinds of different uses. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. Just me rambling on about stationery and stuff like that. It's summer here. It's been very hot, so I haven't been doing a lot of videos and things like that. Very humid and busy. So anyway, I hope you're safe wherever you are, having a good day. Let me know what your favorite pen case is. Is there a brand that I might not have heard about? Let me know. Okay? And have a good day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.